Bore, thank you so much for making time to come on our Spotlight series. Do you want to take a minute and just tell our Recruit ZA audience what your company is and what you specify in?
Yes, so Stephen, thanks for having me. Listen, I've got two hats. I'm a licensed immigration advisor. I'm also an international recruiter, and we've helped a lot of people make the move to New Zealand to get a better lifestyle from all parts of the world. Originally, I set up our business in the UK, lived there for 10 years, and moved back here in 2016. While I was over in the UK, we also helped a lot of British people come to help with the rebuild. So we've helped a lot of people over the years. Migration Associates is the immigration business, and New Zealand Skills Demand is the recruitment business. So we have 3 licensed advisors for Migration Associates, 1 international recruiter, amongst other admin staff that help us support us in our business. So, as the economy gets better in New Zealand, we're going to see a big change in behaviour from employers because they just need to resource, they need to do projects, they need to get things done. So, this is where we come in. We help with getting candidates all over from the world in certain occupations. We then also support them with the visa process and relocation process. And most importantly, we just help them to really get a better lifestyle in effect, Stephen.
Absolutely. Now, currently, you've got about 12 positions advertised on Recruit ZA. Now, those positions, how many of them are actually recurring positions? So, because I know you're not just recruiting for once-off options, there's actually companies that continuously need people like diesel mechanics and so forth.
Yeah, correct. So we would be supplying applicants or candidates directly to employers or to trade agencies. And these are the skills that are in demand that are currently required in New Zealand. So what we would do is we'd speak to candidates, we'd evaluate their visa process, we'd evaluate their recruitment process, and if we thought that they would be a good fit, we'd put them forward for interviews, and then from the interviews we would then have an idea of where they'll be going in New Zealand, and obviously give them the opportunity to consider those roles.
That's fantastic. Now, as an exit question, what sort of turnaround time are we looking at? Say, for instance, from the start of an applicant, say, for instance, applying, you're seeing, okay, well, this is a really good applicant. They get scheduled for an actual interview, and then you move over to, say, for instance, the visa process. How many months do you reckon does it take to get a qualified South African from South Africa over to New Zealand?
Yeah, so once you've got a job offer, we like to think you'd be here within 3 months.
Wow.
Okay. The key thing though is that you've got to save some money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
candidates need money. They need to be able to purchase flights. They need to be able to pay for visas. When they arrive in New Zealand, they need to be able to buy a car, be able to put a deposit on rent. So, what we're finding is that it would depend on the applicant or candidate in their situation. But if they've got the money to make the move and to relocate, they have to be here within 3 months. Some employees are willing to wait 6 to 9 months. I've got a scaffolding company at the minute waiting until July of next year for a candidate that's just got a job.
Yeah.
Okay, but that will roll around quite quickly. The most important thing for candidates is to understand the process, understand the move, and make those plans. So saving, understanding the differences between lifestyles is really important. And I just think that in the next 12 to 24 months, people will be entering New Zealand in a very buoyant economy when things turn around.
Yeah.
And it's a really good opportunity for you to start and to progress your career.
That is fantastic. And thank you so much for making time to explaining all of this. There is a bit more room for discussion because there's some confusion among South Africans on what a sponsored visa actually means. Because a lot of them think it's all cost included. It's not how it works. It's something completely different. But yeah, we'll dig into that in maybe on a later discussion. For now, I think you've given us really valuable information that will help South Africans decide, well, what their next steps needs to be before they start off on this journey.
Fantastic. I mean, it's here. The lifestyle's here. Nothing's ever fully funded and
Yeah.
sponsored by employers. Some opportunities are. It's just understanding what those are and the whole process. But relocating is an expensive process. But what a lifestyle,
What a lifestyle. Yeah.
and we're finding that people forget about those costs, the relocation costs, because their lifestyle's fantastic, and that's the way it should be.
It's the same in Australia, and I work with so many Kiwis here, and the lifestyles are so on par. But Bore, thank you so much for your time.